What's up, guys? It's your boy Reaper here, and today I am going to be revisiting an old deck profile of mine from a while back. You guys may have seen it on my friend DarkArmedDuelist channel. If not, I will have the link down in the description below so you guys can check it out. But I have changed the deck up since, and if you're wondering what deck it is the Exodia Saggi Mystic Mine deck that I built. Like I said, I've made a few changes to it since the last time that you may have seen it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. Alright, so I know that in most deck profiles, you guys are probably used to seeing like the actual cards being laid out and everything, but unfortunately I don't have a setup good enough to where I can record everything. Anyway, I'm using EDO Pro. It is an online dueling service. I'm sure you've heard of it before. But anyway, this is going to be my almost. I think the only difference is I run one more of one of these cards. But yeah, let's get right into the deck profile. We got, of course, the 3 copies of Saggi the Dark Clown here. Now I know you guys are wondering, like, why are you running a Saggi the Dark Clown? Well, if you guys saw the original deck profile video, or if not, it's my favorite card in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. No particular reason. I know a lot of people are usually like, oh, it's because you're a Juggalo and all that. It's not. I actually fell in love with this card way before I even knew what the Insane Clown Posse was. I fell in love with it, like, Season 1, Episode 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where Kaiba summons it and equips it with the Crush Card Virus. I don't know why, I've always loved Saggi the Dark Clown. So we're going to run 3 copies of Saggi, and then of course it wouldn't be an Exodia deck if you didn't run the 5 pieces of Exodia, you know, yeah, which self-explanatory. If you're in Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what it does, but just in case you do not, if you have right leg of the Forbidden One, left leg of the Forbidden One, right arm of the Forbidden One, and the left arm of the Forbidden One, in addition to this card in your hand, you win the duel. So basically, if you have all 5 pieces of Exodia in your hand, you automatically win the duel, which is absolutely insane. I can't think of a more broken effect in a trading card game. Like, it literally just says, as long as you have all 5 of us, yeah, you win. No, just go on, go ahead. From there, we have the one day of peace. This card, each player draws 1 card and neither player takes damage until the end of the opponent's next turn, which is really good for stalling. It's a draw 1, no damage, and I think it's really good, especially for this deck, because in this deck you're wanting to stall. You're wanting to basically just endless loop and draw until you can get the 5 pieces of Exodia in your hand. Then we're going to run the 3 copies of Ledger of Ledgermane. Banish 3 cards from the top of the deck, face down. During your 3rd standby phase after this card's activation, add all 3 cards to your hand. You can only activate 1 Ledger of Ledgermane per turn, which is really good because, like, it allows you to mill those cards and then get them back. It's not like a permaban. It's not a banishing. It's not a permabanish. You get to get them back, which is really neat because, like, you mill it. You wait 3 turns, which is, you know, once again the stall mechanic, and then you get to add it, and who knows, you may be getting 2 Exodia pieces out of it. You know, it's really cool mechanic. We get Upstart Goblin, draw 1, then your opponent gains 1,000 life points, which again, you're not trying to, like, actually battle your opponent with this deck at all. So it doesn't matter what their life points are at, because you're trying to get the Exodia, so that way you just auto win. Also, you have the 1 terraforming at 1 fill spell from your deck to your hand, which obviously you're going to go for the Mystic Mine with the terraforming. You got Magical Mallet. Shuffle any number of cards from your hand into your deck, then draw the same amount of same number of cards, which also, once again, for that, you know, endless draw mechanic. Like I said, the end goal is trying to stall your opponent long enough to get these pieces of Exodia in your hand. Next, we got 3 copies of Pot of Duality. Excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, add one of them to your hand. Also, after that, shuffle the rest back into the deck. You can only activate one Pot of Duality per turn. You cannot special summon during the turn you activate this card. Which, I mean, you're not special summoning. You're not summoning, like, at all. For real. The only thing that you will be actually summoning will be the Saggi the Dark Clown, and that's so you can just basically get rid of it to draw 2, and you'll be seeing that here in just a moment. We have 3 copies of Reload. Add all your cards in your hand to your deck and shuffle it, then draw the same number. Once again, just to keep that draw mechanic going in the deck. Now this is where it gets a little more fun. We got Field Barrier. So field spells on your field cannot be destroyed. Neither player can activate a new field spelled card. You can only control one Field Barrier. So what this is it's extra protection, like, for your Mystic Mine. So say you activate Mystic Mine and then you activate Field Barrier. Not only can your opponent not... Wait, actually, yeah, neither player can activate a new field spell. So if they're running anything like zombies or anything like that, they can't activate their new field spell. Like, whatever they have is it. And if you get rid of it, they can't activate another one. So you hit, you Mystic Mine, you Field Barrier. So that way, the only way that they can get rid of your Mystic Mine is to take care of Field Barrier first. So I just think it'd be stupid not to run 3 Field Barrier for your Mystic Mines, because they're already going to be, like, trying to get rid of Mystic Mine as it is, and now they have to worry about getting rid of an additional card before they can get rid of it. So I think it's pretty neat. And then we have 3 Goddess Scold's Oracle. When this card is activated, if all monsters you control are Valkyrie monsters, you can add 1 Goddess I don't know how to pronounce that, not even gonna lie to you. From your deck to your hand. Once per turn during your main phase, you can look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, and if you do, place them on the top of their deck in any order. But you cannot normal or special summon monsters the rest of this turn, except fairy monsters. You can only activate 1 Goddess Scold's Oracle per turn. So basically, the reason for this card is you activate it, you get to see what's coming up. So if they have an out to your Mystic Mine or Field Barrier, you can see it and just constantly keep moving it. You can just keep making sure that they do not draw into that card, which I think is pretty good for this deck, especially since all you're trying to do is stall and draw. That's what you're trying to do with this deck, and I think it fits the format pretty good with it. I think it fits the mechanic. Also, we got 3 wave motion cannons. It wouldn't be Exodia without wave motion. So basically what this does, during your main phase, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent for each of your standby phases that have passed since this card was activated. So the combo that I usually try to go for is you're going to see Mystic Mine, Field Barrier, Goddess Scold's Oracle, and then Wave Motion Cannon. Because that, your opponent, if you have Mystic Mine, your opponent is locked out of their monster's effects, right? So they're going to be so reliant on their back row getting rid, like, they're going to be back row reliant trying to get rid of your back row, like your spells. So at that point, like, yeah, they can Harpies. They can use Harpies Feather Duster, yeah, and it blow your entire back row. But it's a one of in the deck, right? And you have 3. You have 3 copies. And they're going to be... You're literally going to be like, okay, well, which one are you going to take out first? Because you can't take out Mystic Mine without taking out Field Barrier. But, I mean, the card that you really need is... I keep shuffling back down further and further into your deck. Or, not further and further, but I keep you... I prevent you from getting to it. Oh, and what's that? I also have a ticking time bomb just waiting for you to get to what you need to get to as well. I don't know. It's a very I don't know how to explain it. It's very fun. I know a lot of people sit down and look at Exodia and be like, oh, well, I guess I'm not playing this round. And I mean, I don't know. I find it fun. We have 3 Wonder Wand here. Equip only to a spellcaster monster. It gains 500 attack. If you control the equipped monster and this card, you can send both to the graveyard and draw 2 cards. So Wonder Wand is the entire reason why I run Saggi the Dark Clown. I implemented this mechanic because it worked. Um, Basically, you summon Saggi, equip it with Wonder Wand, send them both to the graveyard, and draw 2. So I finally found a decent use for my favorite card in the entire card game in order to run in an Exodia deck, like an Exodia stall deck. So like I think it works. I think it's fun. Of course, we have 3 copies of Mystic Mine. If your opponent controls more cards or more monsters than you do, your opponent cannot activate monster effects or declare an attack. If you control more monsters than your opponent does, you cannot activate monster effects or declare an attack. Once per turn during the end phase, if both players control the same number of monsters, destroy this card. That's why you see you see no monster cards in this deck for real, because nothing's staying on my field. And a lot of decks nowadays require a lot of people to special summon monsters, have monsters on their board and everything. So it's very easy to get somebody caught in the Mystic Mine effect. It is very easy for to get your opponent into the Mystic Mine bind. So then we have the 1 Dark Sacrifice. When your opponent activates a card or effect that would destroy cards on the field, negate the effect and send 1 level 3 or lower dark monster from your deck to your graveyard, which is another reason we have Saggi the Dark Clown. So that way it's a free draw, not really a free draw, it's send to draw 2, and then also I can send it from the deck to the graveyard to prevent you from destroying any of my back row. So I have outs. Like if you were to Harpies me, I would activate Dark Sacrifice, send Saggi to the graveyard, and then your Harpies is no longer useful. We also have the 1 Metaverse. Take 1 field spell from your deck and either activate it or add it to your hand. It is obviously just it's terraforming for Mystic Mine. It's terraforming for field spells. I don't know. I like this deck. I like how it plays. I know that it aggravates a lot of people, and I know that I'm terrible at explaining cards and decks. This is my first actual deck profile on my own channel. Now I do 60-second deck profiles over on TikTok. If you guys would like to check that out, go follow the @ over. Actually, I don't know why I'm pointing down, because I guess I'm used to the camera being over, not. Like I said, I'm new. Sorry. I'm messing up on the job. But make sure this way. Sorry. Had to look up my capture to make sure I'm losing my mind. Anyway, 60-second deck profiles on TikTok. Stream Squad Official. Right over there. If you guys like this deck and want to see what it does, let me know, and I will set up a live duel so you guys can see how it runs, how it performs. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. God, I hope I didn't screw this up. I hope you guys still like me.